Day 8 and 9 of the Young Thug YSL Rico trial had some interesting moments. One of the moments pertains to an incident Thug was a part of at a mall in Atlanta, where Thug allegedly told a mall cop who was kicking him out that he was going to come back and shoot him in the face. This is from 8 years ago, 2015, a little mall incident where there was a verbal threat from Thug. Kinda tedious in my opinion. I don't see how this furthers YSL as a gang, honestly, but let's get right into this. Hit subscribe, here we go. Alright, so here's Thug on day 8 right here. So we're talking about Huey running from the cops, getting caught with a gun, I believe.
Glock 19, 9mm.
A black Glock 19?
It was like a, yeah, it was a black.
This man writing down the gun like he ain't the one that had it and running from the cops with it.
But most of it is black. Yeah, this is our tag where we tag it being stolen.
The guy's mugshot right there in his hand. What the hell?
Yes.
His lawyer wants to approach. Look at that.
Do you know, are you aware how many people in the business were shot?
Yes, ma'am.
How many?
3.
All right, let's see what Mr. Matthews does right here. Huey's lawyer.
The handgun that was reported stolen that you just identified, it was actually reported stolen on August 8th, 2015, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
By a resident approximately 3 years prior to the date of this May 25th, 2018 incident that you're testifying to here today, correct?
I would assume yes, sir.
Removed from his truck and that there was no forced entry and that it happened in Winder, Georgia, correct?
I'm not 100% sure. I would have to look over.
That there were no physical descriptions of the person or persons that were involved in the shooting, correct?
No, that's not true.
Okay, what was the physical descriptions that were given?
The description that was given was the original call came up as shots fired in the park.
Okay.
And ready to give out the description of individuals.
And what was the descriptions that you heard come through dispatch that would have been part of the 911 calls, right?
A black male wearing all hoodie. So,
No victim in a shooting on May 25th, 2018 ever presented themselves to you for you to engage them in a photographic lineup process, correct?
no.
No alleged victim has come forward to you and said that Mr. Huey shot them on May 25th, 2018, correct?
No.
What it sounds like is there was just a shooting going on, and Huey may or may not have been involved. His lawyer's putting that doubt in the jury's heads, though.
That you indicated that when you recovered the firearm, that it was warm, correct?
That was what?
Warm, W-A-R-M, warm, hot, warm.
No.
So Huey's gun wasn't warm. They just had a long sidebar. Now he came over to Thug and Brian Steele, and he's asking Thug questions, it looks like. I wish I could know what they said, dude. I'm not sure because this incident doesn't involve Thug at all, so.
Officer Henry, I just want to be very clear. You did not do any GSR, gunshot residue testing of any sort on Mr. Huey, correct?
No, sir.
You didn't do any GSR or any type of testing whatsoever on the firearm that you recovered from Mr. Huey, correct?
Me personally, no.
That seems kind of dumb. If 3 people got shot in this big shootout at a park and he got someone arrested, why wouldn't they do GSR in the guy's hands? And his gun wasn't warm, apparently. This is all very confusing.
You have no evidence whatsoever at any shell casing that you say may or may not have been located at this basketball court matched up to any firearm that you recovered from Mr. Huey, correct?
In my opinion, no.
So it seems like he's really trying to get the point across. He had nothing to do with the shooting that happened, and he just had a gun on him, which is weird because he's not even charged with anything involved with the shooting. I guess he's just trying to make the jury understand that. His charges are just having a stolen firearm.
Was from May 25th, 2018, over 5 years ago, correct?
Yes, sir.
You had no idea that you would be testifying here today, December 7th, 2023, about a theft by receiving of a handgun case in a Rico trial. Objection, relevant trial.
I stand objection.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
They're really trying to get the point across that there's no gang ties in the crimes 5 years ago, but now suddenly you're here testifying 5 years later, so.
Who you representing?
In Stillwell. It does not involve Shannon Stillwell. This incident in Grant Park in 2018.
I don't even know.
What? No.
I'm gonna overrule that objection. All right, go ahead.
His reaction to her objecting to that, because she can't object to that. That was like fine. Lawyers are going to start coming up and doing this, bro. I swear. They're going to start coming up and saying, this particular incident that you're here for has nothing to do with my client, right? That this like narrative that YSL was like a huge gang that all did crimes together.
Ballistics are what links a shell casing on a crime scene to a particular gun, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you have no ballistic evidence on this case, the shooting, that links that shooting to Mr. Huey, correct?
No.
Okay, and you have no gunshot residue evidence to suggest that there was any gunshot residue on Mr. Huey.
Asked and answered. Move on.
And to your knowledge, you never charged Mr. Huey with any shooting, correct?
No.
Okay, I just want to be clear. Thank you.
Honestly, some good cross right there. I'm sure there's a few people in the jury that's starting to get annoyed with how much that is going on and how many people are coming in, and it's not too relevant. Like they talked about a shooting for a while, but there's no proof that anyone was involved in the shooting in YSL.
In this case, while the shooting did take place, what was your responsibility? What did you arrest Mr. Huey for?
I was arrested for stolen gun and obstruction and concealing a weapon. I stepped on my patrol vehicle trying to talk to him. And when I tried to talk to him, he needed to go running, so that's obstruction from an officer.
Was a gun thrown by the person you saw take off from?
Yes.
And is that the gun that was saw earlier today?
Yes, ma'am.
It was at Marquavius Huey who threw that gun?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
This boy nervous too. Huey paying attention. He's like looking around at each person talking, dude. I get it though. That's nerve-wracking.
Was that around 8:01 p.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
Once you arrived, did you immediately see Mr. Huey, or did some time pass before you saw Mr. Huey? And in that period of time, could the gun have cooled down in the period of time when you were looking for the subject?
That's affirmative.
That's affirmative. And that's yes?
Yes.
All right. Now, as it relates to Mr. Huey,
His lawyer's laughing because she just got the point across that the gun could have cooled down. They found it later on, like apparently like 20 or 30 minutes later. That is a good point from the prosecutor, but now he's laughing right here. That's funny.
in the course of prepping for examination today, was it
I've already
2018?
over it twice now.
2018.
No, your incident was in 2018.
Hold.
Your incident was in 2018.
Your Honor, and I apologize, I know this had nothing to do with Mr. Williams.
Then please,
No,
please,
the
sir.
district attorney testified, I object.
Basis?
I object, he gave his answer, the district attorney said no, 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 and she's telling me the answer that she wants. This witness
all right.
testified from his own knowledge.
I stand as the form. Okay, I got it. I stand as the form.
Oh, she said no, no.
Once ACIC confirmed that's the gun.
So you made a 911
Well, it's not really a 911 call. So.
You didn't make any 911
No, I didn't.
You need to make one regarding that person case.
I did not.
Let him finish, okay?
I apologize, Judge.
Yeah, he was kind of shooting his questions too quick for the fucking witness to respond.
You didn't know anywhere in your police report about a weapon cooling down or having time to cool
Asked and
down.
answered.
I don't think I asked that question.
Asked and answered. Let's move on.
Oh, Brian Steele's coming up.
I asked the question again one more
Have you
time.
ever arrested? Do you remember speaking about ever arresting someone for criminal street gang
The
activity?
question was stated to me. If I have an answer was no.
Okay.
All right, so that was day 8. Now we're into day 9, which was streamed today as I'm recording this on Friday. Today they're going to go over a situation where Thug got into at a mall, where like a mall cop was like following them to a car because he was trying to ban them from the mall, but then someone apparently in the car threatened him. The cop that's on the stand right now arrested Trontavious Stevens, who is Slug. 2015, he got caught with oxycodone and weed, I think, and a gun too, and I think it was a stolen gun, of course.
We were on patrol, observed a traffic violation, and then pulled the vehicle over.
Either these guys are some bad drivers or these cops are just finding any excuse to pull people over. Like, I don't know which one it is, but these guys always make a wrong turn or some sort of traffic violation or dark window tint to get pulled over in the first place. I wonder who's lying in these situations.
So when we approached the vehicle, the first thing was you could smell raw marijuana very strong.
Classic. They can smell marijuana each time. Fuckers always smoking in their cars, dude.
His name was Trontavious Stevens.
Trontavious Stevens isn't in the courtroom, by the way. He caught a plea deal at some point, but
To the point that made me suspicious of like an impairment. So I just wanted to get a baseline of what level of impairment I was dealing with. So I asked him to conduct like a simple task that any person could do.
and was he able to complete that test?
He was not. The Taurus 9mm handgun, Samsung flip phone, $134 in cash. There was a digital scale, an iPhone Generation 4, 4 oxycodone pills, and then 34 grams of marijuana, and then another additional 25 cents.
man, pissed off, dude.
Do you see any of those individuals in court here today?
No.
The person that you arrested was Marquavius Gray, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And not Marquavius Huey, correct?
Correct.
Okay. No further questions.
He wants to make sure the jury doesn't get confused with his client with another person. That's how confusing this is going to be for the jury.
Would you agree that the area was a poor area, impoverished area?
Yes.
The businesses in that area, do you remember several businesses in that area?
I remember a few.
Okay. Do you remember whether many of the businesses had video surveillance? By that I mean like inside and outside their businesses.
Yes, some of them did, but most of the surveillance equipment, at least from investigations I was involved in, was either A, faulty, or B, very outdated.
Next up on July 3rd, 2015, was Mr. Kendrick in the car?
No.
You see Mr. Kendrick right here?
Yes.
Have you seen Mr. Kendrick outside of this courtroom?
Possibly. I patrolled Zone 3, so if he lived there.
Do you recall having seen him?
No.
To test evidence for the presence or absence of controlled substances. I don't know, but a lot.
How many reports have you here?
Over 5,000.
So she's done over 5,000 tests of the GBI. So she's just tests for oxycodone, that one I would imagine someone got caught with. This next guy right here is also just a weed tester of some kind.
So we don't know, it's not Mr. Williams. The state would like to introduce that portion. I don't believe that it goes to anything except character, and I understand it's not Mr. Williams taking the press.
So the officer that came up to them at the mall and like tried to get them banned from the mall and then got threats said to him, apparently he's been threatened by fans online later on. Mr. Steele right here is trying to make sure that the state doesn't say that someone in YSL was threatening him or something, that it was actually just fans of some kind. So He's just trying to control that narrative.
Mr. May was threatened online, which caused him to change his behavior, shut down his social media. And from that, he learned that he was being threatened because of his reporting of the threats that Mr. Williams made to him. I don't think it was too much time in advance. I think maybe about a month, maybe even 2 or 3 weeks. Once he learned that he was being threatened, he shut down his social media, determined to learn more about Mr. Williams. And so he put his name in, and that's how he learned his name was Jeffrey Williams. He did not know that when the threats were made. Initially, he just knew him as Young Thug, or that he was Young Thug. And then what precipitated him finding out his real name was he learned that he was being threatened, shut down his entire social media accounts, and then began to learn more about who Young Thug was and learned that his name was Jeffrey Williams. It was at that point he learned that Young Thug was Jeffrey Williams and the person who made the threats to him at the mall.
So he didn't know who the person that made the threats to him until he was...
He knew it was Young Thug, but he didn't know who
He knew
Thug
that?
was. Yes, he learned on the day of the threats that it was Young Thug. He did not learn that Young Thug's real name was Jeffrey Williams until at the mall, that he began receiving threats so much so that he had to change his entire behavior.
But it's fans, though. Thug has no control of what fans are going to do once they find out information.
Okay.
Weeks later, Mr. May claims, I don't have it, I can't read it, it's hearsay. He claims that he's being threatened on social media. I've never been given social media. I'm not saying it's true. I have no idea if it's true or not, but I can't even read the social media. No one's saying that Jeffrey Williams or Jeffrey Williams had somebody threaten Mr. May then said, I don't want to be on social media, and I want to look into who is all these people outraged that I had a conversation with Young Thug, and then he realizes how popular Jeffrey Williams is as a renowned artist, and found out his real name. Inadmissible hearsay, which is a threat, just to get to this person in Google and found out Jeffrey Williams' real name.
Your Honor, it's not inadmissible hearsay. He can say, I received threats. We're not saying what the threats are. He's saying, I received threats on this social media. Once I learned that I received threats because of being threatened, I then did this.
A threat is a statement.
But no.
That is an out-of-court statement that the state is offering.
Now, you're just making a threat. I mean, a threat would be,
I understand the ruling. But what relevance is it that the gentleman took 2 weeks agreement? I don't know time. Come on.
Yeah, that's not relevant in my opinion, that he figured out his name was Jeffrey Williams from social media like 3 weeks after the incident.
it shows the effect of what his if the jury believes this, what allegedly happened to him on that particular day and why he then acted the way he did.
It's not today. It's effort by unknown people.
A lot of people have been saying the judge is biased. I'm starting to see it a little bit. It seems like he's like 60 or 70% for the prosecutor and then like 30% for the defense in terms of what he gives them and their breaks he gives them.
What he did as a result of that.
Well, that's all I'm asking. I don't know the threats you mentioned by unknown people. I mean, that's a ruling.
Your Honor, the state doesn't intend to go into specific threats. We don't know what they are. We just know he was threatened.
That's irrelevant after the fact.
Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna. But then plus, the jury's gonna give it whatever weight they see fit. Okay.
It's all bad. It's a bad.
Okay. All right. We're not getting any of that. So the threats of other people are not. We're not getting into those particular specific threats. Okay.
It goes that further. You can't mention it was threats. You just received messages then and change it. I don't understand why it's relevant to change social media. Why does it have to be a threat?
Because Your Honor,
We are very concerned and we strenuously object to injecting the subject of threats into this case. And I understand that we're not going into specifics, but even the general idea that threats are involved create, in our opinion, an implication of guilt. And Your Honor, there are 2 cases I'm going to ask Your Honor to consider.
They just don't want the word threats being put into this case at all because it just shows that they could be guilty.
A security officer who was notified about individuals on skateboard electronic devices, we term them hoverboards. It's been becoming popular, and so I was notified that he tried to advise his individuals to get off the hoverboards, and he was met with resistance. So
these guys were in the damn mall on hoverboards. It was 2015 though. It was a different time. They were like blowing up in 2015.
he told me fuck you and he's leaving. One of the individuals told me, the other one, not the one that said fuck you, told me that I can't tell them what to do. They continued to move away. They're being loud. They're using profanity. There was a lot of it was a weekday, I'm assuming, from what I can recall, and there were still people in the mall with families, and so it was drawing some attention.
Dude, holy shit. All this over a verbal threat about I'm gonna shoot you. Honestly, if someone said that to me, I'd be like, all right, bro, peace out.
And he looked at me and said that he was going to come back up here and shoot me in the face.
he said he's going to come back and shoot you in the face.
Yes.
All right?
I looked at the image and identified that it was the same individual who threatened me and had earlier told me, fuck you.
So the person that you saw the Young Thug was the person who said, fuck you, we're leaving, and I'm coming back up here and shoot you in the face.
Yes.
So they're saying it was Thug that said, fuck you, we're leaving, and I'm coming back here and shooting you in the face. Bro was just having a rough day. All right, everyone calm down. I think that's Thug right there in the front.
Now look at that, those individuals on the hoverboards.
Look at all them. They got so many bags, dude. And he's following them out. This man Thug is cruising around on a hoverboard, dude. Alright, what's the point of this footage, bro? You cannot see shit. Alright, we get the point, right? We get the point. Allegedly, Thug said he's gonna shoot this guy. Me personally, it's just a verbal threat. Does that mean he's a big gang mob boss? Probably not. You know what I mean? That doesn't really prove that he's a big gang mob boss, but let's see what Brian Steele does here.
And then do you see a gentleman who looks like he's maybe drinking coffee or some substance on the below on the table?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I want you to tell the jury, while this loud argument and the profanity is going on the escalator, tell the jury the reaction of the two people in front and the gentleman who is eating or drinking at the table below, okay?
Okay.
As it plays. Just tell us when to stop and you see them signify there's an argument.
So the first two get off the escalator.
If you stop, if you don't. Yes, sir.
So the first two get off the escalator that you pointed out, and I wasn't paying attention completely to the gentleman at the bottom of the table. He does seem to turn his head, but I don't know.
Brian Steele's trying to point out that no one else reacted to the mall to this loud argument that occurred. He described it as a loud argument that was, you know, causing a scene, and people were like looking. On video, there's none of that, but you know, they probably were arguing. Let's be honest here.
Tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury when you see that person, do something if there was some profanity and loud argument. If you could play.
There'll be speculation.
I sustain the objection.
Well, just tell us if you see that person move. Okay, if you could stop it. Did you see the gentleman who is sitting at that table that we've been discussing look up?
I saw him look over and I didn't see him look up.
Okay. It's fair to say that Mr. Williams, the gentleman you say is Mr. Williams, is in the white shirt that already exited the screen that we're showing.
I can't tell you what shirt he's wearing. He's one of the two individuals on the hoverboard. You asked me to recall this from years ago.
And to be clear, we're talking about 8 years and 5 months ago. Right?
That's correct.
You're aware the DeKalb County case was dismissed, right?
When was I made aware? When I spoke with you?
Damn, this was dismissed too. I just feel like this is pointless, bro. I'm sorry, like, but it's a verbal threat, dude. Like, get your panties out of a bunch, dude. I know it's a verbal threat of, you know, basically shooting and killing him, but like, I don't see how this furthers the enterprise as YSL. You can disagree with me saying it's not serious. Like, yeah, you could say it's serious, but does this further YSL as an enterprise? Not fucking really at all. Like, literally 0%. Quite literally irrelevant to YSL as a gang.
Is that you running?
Yes.
Okay.
So this thug right here with 2 orange shirts, the mall security.
Do you realize that none of your coworkers say that Jeffrey made that threat?
Objections.
What's that?
I'm overrule the objection.
No, I spoke with Officer Lewis. I'm sorry, Lewis. Sorry, Stevens.
That's Police Officer Stevens, who works with the Dunwoody Police Department, right?
That's correct.
He comes out after the Jaguar is no longer on the scene, right?
That's correct.
And you called them.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'd like to...
None of his coworkers said that he said that. That's a good point right there. They should 100% have been able to hear it if they're standing there.
tell the ladies and gentlemen jury when you notified Dunwoody Police or any police department of the supposed threat.
I didn't.
You cooperated with him.
Mm-hmm.
And you gave him a statement about this information that you're giving the jurors, right?
Yes, sir.
And you told him about this supposed threat, about being shot, God forbid, right?
I'm sorry?
You told him about this supposed threat.
Yes.
And did you tell him that the person who made the threat to you said that if you continued to approach, he would shoot you in the face?
I don't recall. I don't recall that part of it.
That's fine. Do you remember telling Officer Stevens that you immediately backed up at that point and then allowed the vehicle to leave?
Yes, I backed up.
And allowed the vehicle to
I don't remember that part of it backing up.
Do you deny telling that to?
I can't tell you what I did. I don't recall it.
Did you ever see any of the 3 people on the video do anything aggressive? And when I say the 3 people, I'm talking about the 2 on the hoverboard and the 1 walking with the bags.
I don't know how I can tell you aggression from the video and the angle. I don't know what you're asking me for.
Fast movement.
Fast moving?
Yeah, did you see anything aggressive?
Again, I don't know what you mean by aggressive, sir. I watched the same video you watched. I can't tell a lot of the actions through the video quality.
Your Honor, I'm going to this is a past recollection.
You haven't laid all the foundation for it. I'm not going to admit it. And plus, it's bolstering at this point in time.
Your Honor, based upon the prosecution.
Can you welcome on up, please?
Yes, please.
Judge seemed a little bit annoyed with the prosecutor not laying enough foundation.
I want to ask you about, and just go back to a week later, 3 days later, whatever, the supposed threat that the man or woman showed you on their phone. You're not saying in any way that Jeffrey Williams had anything to do with that, are you?
I'm not saying it was him, no.
Okay. And then, did anyone come back to the mall?
I don't remember. I can't remember.
And that's pretty much it. That's Thug's lawyer trying to get the point across that he wasn't the one doing the threats, online at least. Thug might have said that in real life, yeah, but stupid, yes. Is it that serious? Is it furthering YSL as an enterprise? No. Yeah. If you're new to my channel, subscribe from my Twitter and Instagram. Fucking love you guys. Peace out.